2022, the JDI Ghostbox 2.0. Delivering the same sound quality as before, with its seamless, reliable Bluetooth connection. 50 watts per channel, but in a smaller, more compact, more durable aluminum anodized case. Plug and play just as before, but now with 2 RCA integrated outs, with a remote wire. Also with optional extension harness, so you can place the Ghost Box wherever you want. Multiple makes and models available, in stock now, ready to ship with super fast shipping. At jordandistributors.com. New for 2022, JDI has introduced a main relay conversion with an integrated kill switch. Main relay conversions are nothing new, but now with an integrated kill switch that's over 6 feet long, you can locate this kill switch anywhere in the vehicle, giving you an element of safety and security that you didn't have before. Easy to install and even more affordable. This main relay conversion uses the more common and affordable 5-pin relay that is found at most auto parts stores. Available for a wide variety of vehicles, with even more on the way. In stock now, ready to ship with super fast shipping. Visit jordandistributors.com. Shout out to Resto Tuner. Go follow them on Instagram. These guys do God's work, honestly. They make a lot of reissued decals and stuff for older Hondas, but they also recently started doing re-zinced bolts and stuff. So go check them out, give them a follow, and if you have, a golden era Honda, they're gonna have something for you as far as things that can help restore your car. The freshly zinced bolts are amazing, so I'm gonna go throw these on. Okay, see if you can see these little squares in the corners of the injectors. So what I'm doing is I'm using a Dremel and I'm just drilling them out. Pretty simple, takes literally all of 2 seconds to just zip it down there and clear that out. Don't go ham, but pretty quick and easy. But you can see those little corners in there. There we go. Quick and easy, that literally took 20 seconds. Get any stuff out of there, and it should click in no problem. Alright, so we got the fuel injectors plugged up, fuel rail on. I can already go ahead and tell you this is probably gonna leak. The seals. I need to get some new seals for the injectors before I start it up, because these are the injectors off of the B18A because they're OBD1. I got a full OBD1 harness, so I have installed some of the Resto Tuner hardware, and it looks really nice. So I'm gonna find some extra spots. I can throw some of this fresh zinced 10 mils on, probably back there where the fuel filter is, and go from there. Alright, so I got the DC2 air box installed. It is nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. I've actually got a P73 Type R arm here, and then a piece of pipe, what am I talking about? And then a hose going from here to here, so we've got good PCV out of the valve cover. And if you notice, I have a cap on this. I'm going to be fixing that as well. That's going to be corrected. I just haven't had time to get another PCV valve, and all that will be taken care of here coming up soon, but it's just the progress that I've got going on. I did have to cut a little bit out of the bottom, the back here, using the Dremel. So just to give it space, so it bolts up here on 10 millimeter and bolts here with a 12 millimeter. It's pretty sturdy and it looks amazing. I love the way that this setup looks. All right, Back in the garage again. It's Thursday. I think I'm ready to start this thing. Got the starter on, got all the power hooked up, primed it, checking for leaks. Haven't seen any. I have the transmission ground here, but I don't have a secondary ground. So I don't know if this bad boy will actually start or not. I need to get another ground. I think I'm gonna disconnect the distributor or pull the ECU fuse, one of the two. You know, try to spin it over, get some oil pressure. All right. There's no coolant in the motor. We're not gonna run it for long. We just wanna see if this bad boy will start up, which I'm sure it should. Got an open header. So I'm also a little sketched out by that. It's daytime. I don't know, lights. I have a feeling this battery, I've been using it too much. Alright, so we're not going to be able to start it right now because we've got fuel leaks on all 4 injectors because I was lazy. The fuel injector seals are a bit old, so I'm going to have to go get some O-rings and replace them because it's leaking on all 4. So once we stopped with the fuel leaks, I thought it didn't have any fuel leaks, but it definitely has some fuel leaks. But I'm gonna move on to the spindles. I need to remove these spindles, ball joints on those, and then put them in. All right, back here, we need to charge the camera, but catch you guys up to speed. We've got a hub on over here. Put a new ball joint in over here. You can see the brake caliper dangling over here. We've got the hub on, put some brake pads in here, the new caliper on. We need to get the spacers for these things. They're not like super paramount, but you definitely want them if you're gonna be doing heavy braking. We are gonna order the little spacers that go in here. We got .4 fluid for when we bleed the brakes, axle seal, and injector seals. I'm gonna knock all that stuff out, get back to you. Hopefully we can get this thing running, put together on the ground. I need to go over all the bolts and everything. All right, this battery's really low. We figured it out. We're gonna try to kick this thing over and start it. Should be fine. It's gonna be scary. It runs! Yay, it runs. All right, getting back on the car. This is very important, quick tip of the day. This is a 94-01 half shaft, and we're using on a cable transmission. That yes, I'm using a Duralast because it's the only one I can find because I'm trying to get to a show tomorrow. Using a 94-01 Integra half shaft and axles, you can do that on a cable transmission. You just have to change the inner shaft seal that goes into the transmission. So you can see the difference here. This is the other half shaft. The way you tell the difference is that the other half shaft, the axle goes into it, whereas this one actually has an axle spline on the end of it right there. So I'm gonna put the seal in, get the axles in, and then we can put the whole brake assembly together, put the brake pads in, bleed the brakes, get this car on the ground, also transmission fluid, and get this thing, and she should be good to go. Here we are, we've got the axle seal in. Here, if you notice, it's flush mounted. That's how it should sit. You don't need to beat it in any farther than that. So, she's Gucci to go. Alright, so she's flush. Now we can put the bolts in. Now remember, these bolts are special. They have the little shank on them. Okay, the light fell. Quick little update here. We have successfully installed our axles. As you notice, there's no rotors or calipers, and that's because we're going to be switching out the suspension. So we're going to swap out the suspension with the EF for now, and the wheels obviously. So we have the axles in, the transmission filled up with fluid, speed sensor cable installed, everything underneath has been finalized. Header, the subframe has all been installed here. So we're looking good. I think we're done underneath the car. We want to get this thing done. We've got enough time. All we need to do is get these brakes on and get the brakes bled. That's all good. We're moving forward. We're kicking ass right now. So, Mini Cooper rotors, I believe 2010, non-supercharged, ARP studs. We got little spacers in here that align the rotor. Got the Type R brake caliper. I just fitted the pads on here. Don't forget to hit the rotor with brake cleaner when you're done. Now we're gonna put this bad boy on here. Cheap, affordable, big brake kit. And honestly, I believe it's better than Willowwood in my opinion. But that's just me. Just looks so beautiful, doesn't it? All right, so if you notice, there's no suspension in here. We will get to that in the future, but for right now, we're gonna be putting on the Function Form Type 2s. Yeah, so we're gonna throw them in there. We need to raise them because I know they're sitting way too low. I'm gonna clean them up too before we throw them in here. But these are the ones that are adjustable. The reason why I'm going for these is because DAs are a little different. They have 12K, and then on the front, 6K in the rear. So, all right, update here. We've got the car much lower now. You can see everything straight down. Got the reservoir down there, big brakes and everything all bolted up. We are now ready to bleed. So the first thing that we need to do is bench bleed the master. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put little hoses. We're gonna disconnect the lines, put little hoses in here, fill it up with fluid, pump it a bunch, and get the air out of the master so that before we go trying to bleed off the rest of the brakes, the master won't have a ton of air in it or anything like that. So it'll save some time in the long run. So I'm gonna get started on that. Nice and clean. I through the hoses. All right, so I had this thing bench bled and the line's hooked up now. I'm gonna fill this up and then we're gonna start bleeding. Back wheel first. I'm gonna monitor this. We're using .4 for this because we're gonna be heat cooking these brakes, boy. Okay, brakes are bled after a nightmarish accidental leak. As you can tell, a lot of fluid spilled because the fitting was like not seated all the way for some reason. So yeah, but it's all taken care of now. It's all bled. Got it capped off. We're good to go. Need to get the front wheels on and check the lug nuts I have. I'm not sure if they're gonna work. Yay. And then swap out the rear suspension, swap out the wheels, and then we'll be good to go. I know I'm just kind of rushing through this stuff, but got to get it done. Acura Honda Classic meet is tomorrow morning, so I'm trying to get this done. Suspension, wheels, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna sit, but I guess I can get up extra early if I need to and you know, do some more finishing touches on the car, but I'm gonna get busy. After making a complete mess, the car is on the ground, looking gorgeous, except for the fitment right here. Yeah, not good. We're super high here and super slammed here. So obviously we gotta do some reversing. We gotta lower the front, raise the back, and see if we can get somewhere. A little concerned about the back because we're pretty high and that's pretty slammed. So just gotta keep on. It's 9:30, running out of time. Engine runs, no check engine lights, as far as I know. Honestly, once I get the suspension dialed, I'll take it for a drive. And hopefully we can make it tomorrow to the meet. But it looks amazing, like being on the ground. Okay, update. We've got the car sitting right, at least for now. I don't want to go any lower in the front. The rear is as high as it can go. I got the front bumper on, obviously. I got this thing started. I got it full of coolant. I'm trying to be quiet right now because it's very late. I don't want to be super noisy. I tried to bleed the coolant, but I know I did not bleed it all the way. It's just too loud, so I had to cut the car off. But you know, I'm gonna get up early in the morning and try to, you know, button up a couple things. I'm gonna try to bleed the car off one more time before I leave. And I took it around the block. It does seem okay. Been a long day. I just got something in my eye. So I'm gonna wrap it up here for today. I need to put the camera on charge for tomorrow. Hopefully everything will go well. Car drove around the block, shifted through all the gears. You know, everything seems to be working fine. The brakes seem fine. They seem like they need to be bled one more time, of course, because I only bled them once. So definitely need to go around one more time, but it's functional for now. So I'm gonna go upstairs, take a shower, and call it a night. And see you tomorrow. All right, update, kids. It's the next morning. Getting a few things together with the car. I need to go bleed it again. It's raining. I don't have a lot of time, so I'll pick the camera up more when I get to the meet. Yeah, feel beat up. I'm gonna get some stuff ready, get it bled, do a couple more bolt checks, and I think everything's good, and we'll be on our way. Just a little sketched out by the rain more than anything, honestly. But I think everything should be okay. We made it here a little early. People are starting to park, and it's raining. It was a sketchy ride, I'm not gonna lie. We got John's DA over here, Jonathan from Acura Honda Classics DA. Then we got my bucket. Way out here. Way out here. People parking. I like these wheels. Time at the Acura Honda Classic meet, had lunch with a couple guys, drove home, and I literally passed out because I've just been so tired. Notice the hood is propped up behind me, and that's just because I'm doing some double checking on some stuff. Headers are turning a nice pretty color. I need to make a couple adjustments, adjust the steering wheel, and also just do a couple of buttoning up of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that real quick, and we'll go for a ride today and see how this bad boy is driving. She feels really good. Really solid. So I'm gonna get started on just doing a couple of quick little adjustments, and then we'll take this bad boy for a ride. Okay, one thing turns into 10 others. I've got the car up on the air, just tightening some stuff up. Had an exhaust leak, fixed that. I got to the back half of the car, and it was absolutely filthy. I should have shown it before, but now she is spotless. I mean, how many cans of brake cleaner does it take to clean an Integra? That's the real question. So this thing actually has really nice Revel Tanabe medallion exhaust and the ASR rear subframe brace. So I will be putting a rear strut bar on. This ASR subframe brace allows you to put a rear strut bar on like, you know, the EG-DC. If you notice here, this little red mark here, that's where the other strut bar bolted on, which is not as strong. So you need to run one of those, you need these braces here to be able to do that, and they drill up into the body. But luckily for me, it was already installed, so but it's nice and clean all back here. The car still has, you know, a bunch of oil and grease up under the undercarriage, and I really need to get somewhere where I can either get on a lift and pressure wash it or just do something to that effect, because I can't just keep, you know, one can of brake cleaner only cleans a small little area. It's just too expensive, and pressure wash would really help. But anyway, moving on. All right, getting in the car, got the car on the ground. You may have noticed I have a GSR cluster in here now. Picked one up, and I kind of prefer this. I actually have been looking for the XSI cluster that goes to 95, but it's this style and this font. Looks just like this. It just goes to 95. The only difference, and it's also in kilometers. But at least with this cluster, it fits the car for the year I prefer. Plus it's miles an hour, and it's the original odometer to the car, 99,000 miles. We're gonna take a little trip. Of course, we have our JDI push start. We're gonna let her warm up a little bit. All right, we've warmed up a little bit. I could smell that the gas is kind of old. I drove to the Acura Honda Classic yesterday. It drove fine, other than, you know, a little couple of alignment issues. And when I got back home, I did a bolt check. You know, even though I did a bolt check before I left, I did another one just to be sure. I just went around in a circle here, and the speedometer wasn't quite acting right. I don't know if I plugged it in all the way. Just popped the hood, tried to make sure it was in the speed sensor, because these cable operated speedometers are a little funky. So let's hope we are Gucci taters. And that little whistle is from the clutch. Started making that noise yesterday. I don't know why. I think it's the throw-up bearing. I'm gonna pick the camera up when I get out onto the street. So we're out cruising. Car feels good, other than, you know, just needing alignment. The exhaust sounds good. It's not too loud. It's actually pretty quiet. It seems to be good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm just so super excited. This was so much work over so many months. But see if we can get a pull or a rip in here real quick and head back to the house. As you can tell, we're in 5th gear. All you transmission aficionados know that this is definitely a YS1 B16 trans, 60 miles an hour at about 3,300 RPM. That's her, baby. She feels good. You know, I was a little concerned that the car would feel sluggish, but it actually feels really fun and responsive. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but like, it doesn't feel like it sucks or anything like that. All right. Let's see if we can. Transmission shifts like butter. I can tell you that this thing feels just like a GSR. It feels so good. There's just nothing like a DA. There's just nothing like it. This motor is probably making about the same, if not maybe a little bit more as a B17A. Who knows? But with this transmission, it is the perfect combination. It's fun. I don't want to really kind of go ham trying to hold the camera because of the alignment. It still seems to handle pretty okay, but you know, I don't want to get too deep into it because it needs an alignment. You can tell. But as far as the way this thing feels and shifts, it's amazing. It feels so good. It brings me back to a different time. The brakes are awesome. They could probably be bled one more time, but it's that VTEC. Woo! We gotta get in alignment, but the brakes feel pretty damn good. It stops really well. The pedal's a little bit spongy, but like I said, we need to bleed it one more time, and I think we'll be good. I'm gonna get back to the house, talk a little bit more about the car, and then we're gonna wrap the video up. She's a little dirty from the rain yesterday, so I'm gonna wash her down. So let's go over the car. So I'm going to start with the interior. We've got the Honda block-off plate, spoon shift knob, blocks shifter, innovative shift linkage, the JDI push to start, Momo steering wheel, GSR cluster. I was able to get the pedal set off of eBay, and the interior is just factory clean because it's from a factory Integra GS. So under the hood we have a B16 A2 block rebuilt with P30 pistons, which is from the JDM B16A engine, along with Brian Crower full valve train, B16 head, of course, and Type R cams. But I have to give a big shout out to Choni Johansson for sending me this B18 C6 Type R intake manifold and throttle body. Allows the engine to breathe really well. Just got a new B16 OBD1 distributor from Most Plus, which works really well. Wireworks wiring harness, DC2 airbox, 93 Integra GSR transmission, Odyssey battery relocated, ABS deleted with 98 spec proportioning valve, innovative motor mounts, function informed Type 2 suspension, fresh zinced hardware from Resto Tuner. Now we will be putting AC in this thing. Shout out to Carl for also helping me make the brake lines. I will cover how you make your own brake lines in another video, and we'll go over why in the other video. Got Rota 15x7 Rota slipstreams with Type R calipers and Mini Cooper rotors. I do have the spacers in there, ARP lug studs. I do actually have ARPs for the rear, which we'll get to later. JDP carbon lip, front mud flaps, still looking for some rear mud flaps, and 9093 bumper plug replacements by Pensierique. So I know I've been rambling on about the car for a while. We're going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, we're going to continue to build the DA